Senna, a Netflix miniseries, chronicles the life and hardships of Ayrton Senna, a prominent figure in Formula One, including his contentious disqualification from a race in 1989. The fourth episode of the series depicts Senna's infamous race against his Formula One rival Alain Prost in the 1989 Japanese Grand Prix, one of the most significant events in his career. During this pivotal race, Senna did more than merely collide with Prost. Even though Senna came in first, the latter was crowned the winner. This contentious ruling resulted from a purported punishment, where Senna cut the chicane after the collision. This defeat at the Japanese Grand Prix, as portrayed in Senna, was one of several setbacks in Senna's remarkable career, and the subject is still being debated today. This series explores how the long-running rivalry between Senna and Prost culminated in the 1989 Japanese Grand Prix. Senna finally overtook his rival on the 40th lap of the race, after Prost had taken the lead. For 5 laps, the two combatants were tied, but Prost had once again overtaken Senna. Or the 47th lap of the race was when everything changed. Senna then attempted to pass his opponent at the chicane before arriving at the pit lane entry. Prost, however, interrupted him in the middle of the conversation and struck Senna's vehicle, forcing them both off the track in a collision. One of the most contentious disqualifications in Formula One racing history was caused by this accident. Senna swiftly returned to the race after colliding with Prost during the Grand Prix, but Prost got out of his car, believing the race was ended. Senna eventually had his car fixed during the race, despite the fact that his front wing was shattered, and he took first position. Senna was disqualified, though, because he failed to go back to the precise location on the track where he had left off after the collision. According to Senna Copton, the marshals have the authority to remove a car that becomes stuck on the course in accordance with Article 56 of the 1989 Formula One Disciplinary Code. If a driver is able to restart their vehicle, they are also permitted to rejoin the race under this regulation. Senna would have had to drive the wrong way to avoid cutting off the chicane, but in this instance, it was deemed an illegal action. Prost was ultimately proclaimed the 1989 Japanese Grand Prix winner. For Senna, however, the fight was far from finished. In a statement published in Motorsports magazine after the race, he charged that FISA President Jean-Marie Balestre had disqualified Prost in order to favour him in the competition. Senna's punishment ultimately resulted in more than simply her elimination from the race. Additionally, Senna was fined $100,000. United Press International also reports that Senna received a 6-month racing suspension for dangerous driving. Since Senna had already challenged the decision and was still disqualified, Nelson Piquet persuaded his fellow drivers at the 1990 drivers' briefing that the penalty was unnecessary, which somehow made Senna's defeat worse. Senna reportedly stormed out of the meeting following this, according to Last Word on Sports. Ayrton's disqualification after the crash is one of several ways that the odds were purposefully stacked against him in the Formula One racing scene, according to Senna on Netflix. As demonstrated in the series, there is ongoing discussion on whether Balestre punished Senna in order to give Prost the victory. Even though Ayrton encountered many difficulties, Senna demonstrates how he overcame them to become one of the most renowned and significant Formula One drivers in history. Remember to like, share, subscribe to my channel for more videos.